Alright, Phelan, you ready for Beverly Hills Ninja 2? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you've slayed it. It's defeated.
It's killed.
So this is one that's kind of, the history is more interesting than the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
There certainly is things to talk about.
Everything's more interesting than this actual movie.
You might have noticed this is not called Beverly Hills Ninjas 2, it is called Dancing Ninja. That's because this began as a sequel to Beverly Hills Ninja, which everyone was clamoring for.
Yeah, not with Chris Farley not in it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much demand was there for a Beverly Hills Ninja 2 in 2007?
I don't think that thought was going to cross anyone's mind.
No, I mean this was when this was first pitched. It wasn't released until 2010 because it had a really bad production history. This was the first major Hollywood movie to be filmed in South Korea. What a beginner!
Holy Shinto!
Holy Shinto! Holy Shinto, Sabu!
There is remnants of Beverly Hills Ninja 2
Mostly
in this.
that line.
Yeah, there are some plot elements, but basically what happened was they ran out of money, and the guy who was brought in to direct it was the co-writer of the original Beverly Hills Ninja, and he wrote this one as well. There were some disagreements with him and the South Korean producers, things like they wanted the lead to be nude in it, or the lead woman, and things like that. I don't know what all happened, but either way, they ran out of money, production stopped, and there was a lawsuit later, and this kind of sat on the shelf for a while until eventually they completed it, and it became the Dancing Ninja.
Didn't shit sit on the shelf long enough.
It said in the article that I read about it that about 30% of this was filmed before it was canned, but I want to say more of it was probably filmed than that before it was on the shelf, and then they had to do reshoots later. But it's kind of hard to tell what is what. You can kind of tell parts like one of the lead villains in it, she's got a wig on for parts of it, but other parts her hair is normal.
But in the real world, you are despised. I am not despised! I am feared!
It also stars as the villain, you might have noticed prominently on here, David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff is the villain, and the best part of this movie.
Sure.
If it weren't for David Hasselhoff, I feel like there would be no laughs in this.
Yeah, maybe a couple with that master guy. But...
Yeah, when he's dying, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's clear to me you had to die for me to fulfill my destiny.
Icky, did it ever occur to you that not everything is about you?
No, Sabu. I don't think so.
The lead in this is Lucas Grabeel, I think is his name.
Yeah.
You might recognize him as the incest brother from High School Musical.
So lonely before I finally found what I've been looking for.
It sort of follows the same idea as Beverly Hills Ninja. He is a white kid who is lost in a shipwreck and ends up somewhere in Asia.
They got the legend of the Dancing Ninja, in case you wanted to see that done shitty.
You know, the first time I watched this, I remembered enjoying it a little more than now, mostly because we watched it back to back with the original.
Yeah. I know that's not the most liked Chris Farley movie, but I still enjoy that one.
Yeah, it's not his best one, but it's, even at his worst, he's still hilarious.
Yeah, like,
and there were funny jokes in the movie that weren't just him, too. Like, Robin Shue was great in that. His bits were really funny.
yeah, I like some of Chris Rock's bits in it.
Yeah.
Liu Kang trying to save Chris Farley from himself all the time and then getting beaten up and his reactions to when he's doing something stupid. Oh, that's really funny.
I haven't seen Beverly Hills Ninja probably since it came out, so it would have been a really long time. Maybe a little bit on TV, but I didn't remember it being the best one. But even watching it back now, it reminded me how good Chris Farley is, and even though the script really isn't that great, It's not a good idea anyway.
Like, I mean,
He
yeah,
made
there's
it really
plenty
funny.
of parts in that movie where I'm like, this probably wouldn't be funny if it wasn't Chris Farley.
Yeah, it's a really dumb 90s
It's
movie
pretty
for sure.
dumb in a lot of parts, but I mean, the players make it work for the most part.
But even like this, the premise of it, which is a really simple premise, fat white guy does not make good ninja. They get that wrong here. I guess you gotta ask yourself, is a ninja that dances funny in itself?
No.
Because it's not like the lead is fat or incompetent. They kind of try and make him clumsy, but it doesn't really work because he doesn't seem like he's
kind of
klutzy or out of shape or anything.
repeats some like sort of bits near the beginning, but it's mostly just kind of like boom, ow.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have anything like, you know, you watch when Chris Farley's beating the shit out of himself. You know, he's overselling stuff. Oh, crap! Oh, like flying around. Like, he makes that really funny. And if it's just this stupid little wiener kid doing that same bit, like, imagine if when he went to the astral plane or whatever it is, he flew back, he'd just be like, ah! And then he'd get up and I better dance.
It's such a miscasting because this kid can't do physical comedy. Like, he can do the musical numbers and the dances because he is a dancer and a singer. And
He
can
can't
do
play
that.
DDR though. And DDR helps teach him to be the stupid dancing ninja in this, but he doesn't play it right at all. Stupid little fuckhead.
He doesn't play DDR right.
He doesn't even look at the screen for the most part. He's just like dancing around like with his back turned to it. Then they even show him like with his hands on it, just hitting the center of it, not hitting any of the arrows. Like, what a stupid little shit.
I just noticed they used an unfinished green screen shot on the back
nice.
here with him at the DDR.
Seems about right.
Oh, bad.
Wow, is that really your best?
That makes the movie seem even more dated, too. The fact that such a prominent part of it is DDR.
Yeah.
Like, not that DDR isn't still a thing, but its big boom was past when they were making this.
They, for some reason, screened in this singer girl as, like, one of the DDR characters, and that's what she's credited as DDR girl.
Even though in her, the flyers, it was her performing name, who she really is, Elisa Strada, which I've never heard of. I had to look this up.
But she's just credited as DDR girl, even though this is like knockoff DDR. So
Yeah.
I don't know about them putting that there. But
Yeah, it seems like maybe it was supposed to be DDR. Well, it was supposed to be, but
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
obviously.
that they were originally just going to call it DDR and they
Maybe.
ran out of money.
And then he meets
weird.
her, and it's like, why is he actually meeting the girl from DDR?
Because she's having like a DDR concert, as if that's a thing that's ever occurred.
It's nothing to do with anything. And then it's like he dances with her, and then her boyfriend's like, yo, get away from my woman. He's like, eee! And then he wakes up later that night and then sucker punches them while they're playing poker and beats them up, and it's like all in slow motion because they're like, well, anything that doesn't have dialogue can be used for slow motion to fill in time because we have like 30% of a movie or whatever.
We tried to keep the slow motion away from the dialogue as much as possible, but anything without dialogue was considered for slow motion.
But the things that made this movie seem really cheap were they did animated sequences to try and fill in some gaps that they couldn't film, and it was like cheap Flash animation
Flash
anime that looks
anime.
like teenagers drew it.
Flash anime.
It was so bad.
It was like worse than the like video game cutscenes where, you know, they just have a still with a little bit of motion. It's kind of like that, but, you know, if it was anime drawn in Flash.
Yeah, and when he's supposed to do like his big move at the end, and all of a sudden he's in front of like a Flash background, you're like, oh no, that was supposed to be more impressive, I think.
Yeah, we lost a bunch of our fight scene here, so here's this.
Oh, shit.
There's some plot elements that are not ever finished. You can tell that they were part of the original production. And one of the elements that they have is this giant Stargate wheel, which is unfortunate that they don't follow up on this because it's the main plot. The lead character is Sensei or Sabu or whatever they call him.
I will avenge your death, Sabu. I will! I will! I will! I will!
I'm not your Sabu, and stop hitting me.
Like, that was a running joke that never got a laugh. Don't call me Sabu.
Don't call me that.
But he has this Stargate wheel machine that I guess gives you powers or is mystical or something.
Maybe that was supposed to teach you the Force.
Yeah, because I feel like that was supposed to be an effects-heavy thing, and they realized they didn't have money for effects, so they changed the plot to something more doable, where they could do the stock explosions.
But, like, it's confusing about what it's doing. It looks like it's almost a torture device, the way they use it.
Yeah, it's never really explained very well.
Your ninja abilities grow with each repetition. Soon we'll be ready for full power machine.
Together with this machine, we can conquer the world.
No.
For some reason, David Hasselhoff's character wants this, and so he kills the sensei, because he was his sensei, and he went on to become a giant action star, Ansel LaDouche. Ansel LaDouche.
Douche is a much more appropriate name for the main character. Fucking little douchebag. Ugh. Just want to punch his face so many times in this.
You know, I feel like the actor was trying, though, and when I watched...
he pisses me off. Holy shit.
He was not good in this, but I've seen him, like, in High School Musical. I watched those movies
where he's being
when they came
incest,
out.
he's good.
When he was being incest. I remember him being my favorite part of it, and he did funny stuff in that. But in this, it's really not the right character for him. It doesn't work at all.
No, I'm just like, fuck off. I want to watch the Chris Farley movie again.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I can't stand you.
Well,
Like,
if you're gonna have a character like this, you have to make him pathetic, and he doesn't seem pathetic enough for that. He doesn't seem incompetent at any point. He seems really sure of himself. He doesn't seem bad, even though he can't play DDR. He never seems like he's incompetent.
It's a confused premise because, like we said, there were a few moments at the beginning where he's like beating himself up and he almost kills a woman near the beginning.
Yeah.
But then it's just kind of like he plays DDR, but then it's still like, no, you still suck at fighting. But then all of a sudden, no, he's good when some street thugs want to beat him up. And he's like, oh, I'm perfect now. Like, I'm Steven Seagal. Gonna flawless victory, you are. Flawless victory.
That works out because they had the Steven Seagal stand-in.
Yeah.
Wow, it's Steven Seagal! You're my favorite action star.
They had the Steven Seagal from a lot of his newer movies where he can't finish them.
Yeah. So that was pretty accurate.
How sad is that, though? I bet he would have appeared for 2 seconds for a sandwich or something.
But then he'd have to stand, and that's not in his contract.
Yeah, well, they could have had him sitting, like, as long as everyone's saying how good I am, and I get to sit down and eat a sandwich.
Maybe they didn't want the actual Maybe they just liked the idea of him before he became like a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow.
Well, this is 2007, 8. Like, he was already turning into the Stay Puft.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Seagal.
saying. Like, maybe at that point they're like, nah, let's have a better Seagal. And
why didn't they just say, like, Van Damme or something? You know, they used a cutout of him. Like,
Van Damme knows better. I know he probably has a lot of debts to pay at this point, but I don't think he's that desperate.
Well, I mean, like a
stand-in.
desperate. I just mean, like, pretend Van Damme's there instead of Seagal, or pretend anyone's there instead of Seagal.
Maybe he was a funnier thing to say. Just like, you know, Lewis isn't really obsessed with honey mustard, but it's funnier to say than, like, barbecue sauce.
Oh, look, Richard Karn's there. I don't think so, Tim. What? What the hell? Why was that there?
Why is he at the fighting?
Exactly. Nothing to do with anything. But it's better than Steven Seagal. That's what his sign can say, Richard Karn. At least I'm not Steven Seagal.
It's the Taco Bell dog! Oh, Taco Bell dog! Push Steven Seagal aside. Taco Bell dog!
No, I need those tacos. Oh, I'm gonna flawless victory all these tacos. Oh no.
Hey everyone, it's Gangrel! It's Gangrel!
I was going to appear at this tournament before, but it was forbidden by the Undertaker.
And then later, it was forbidden by the Undertaker.
I'm fired. that shot. I feel for that gangrel. Good thing that didn't happen to me. Anyway, the dancing ninja.
I kind of feel like
The dancing ninja grows stronger. The dancing ninja grows stronger. The dancing ninja grows stronger.
I kind of feel like with the martial arts thing and the ponytail, Ansel LaDouche was supposed to be Steven Seagal at some point. I feel like they asked him, and he was so humorless, he said no. Or they realized it was like not, like he wouldn't be good to work with or something like that. But I feel like that is a Steven Seagal kind of character, because Hasselhoff does a really good job just going over the top. Like, it's stupid, but it's funny stupid. And he can do that and still be funny.
He can do.
He randomly goes into the Hooked on a Feeling music video.
One
Apropos
of the best
nothing.
parts of this movie, because it has nothing to do with anything.
Yes. And that's like the best part of the movie. Because the rest of it, it's so bad. Because they do, some parts of it they do like Beverly Hills Ninja, but badly. Like, he goes to the plane of enlightenment, and the dead sensei is there, and he's like in a hot tub with some women.
It's just a white void in this one too. They can do like that stylized looking mountain
That just
thing.
look like drawings.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that was too much for these guys.
They didn't have the technology that they had in 1997.
Yeah, apparently.
And they do things like, they have the person who follows the white ninja to America to make sure that he doesn't get himself killed, and this is a girl this time. But they only do like one thing, and it's not really like, it's not clever. Because when they had Robin Shou, he would be like disguised as like in baggage claim, or he would be like tossing things that would bounce off
Or
of
as
it.
a statue once.
Yeah, so
like
he had
that.
like clever disguises so that someone who was kind of unaware wouldn't notice.
I like, even when we just watched that, I forgot he was one of those statues, those golden things.
Yeah, you don't notice.
Yeah.
Until, oh,
It's
okay.
like, oh yeah, Robin Shou's in there.
So they had things that were funny, but they were plausible in that situation that someone wouldn't notice. But then they had, just in Dancing Ninja, she lowers a rope off a roof, and then he's like, oh, there's a rope. I'll climb up it. Oh, I guess lucky me, a rope.
Yeah.
And then immediately just finds her, and then they do away with that premise.
Yeah, it's pretty much like any of the kind of Beverly Hills Ninja elements. They're kind of like sort of there, then swept away really quick.
I'm so sorry you have passed on to the other world.
Although, it does have its perks. Hello, girls.
And a lot of this, too, is just dependent on sex jokes, but they're really not good sex jokes. It's just, you're just supposed to find boobs funny, I guess. By themselves.
It's another really inconsistent thing too, because he's apparently good at fighting because of DDR, which is bullshit. But then it's like, oh, but then he's not good again unless he gets horny. Like, the other main girl, she sort of has another guy that she's seeing at
It's
one
just
point.
for one scene. Just
yeah,
for a joke.
one scene, just for a little wiener boy to throw a fit about. But then it's like, he falls on her after, and then it's like, oh, I guess she liked him after he accidentally fell on her. But every time, like, they're doing these things where he's like finding out his powers work via being horny, and he acts like he's like splooging in his pants. He's like, oh,
He becomes Rob Schneider as orgasm guy.
yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's that guy. It's just like, oh, awkward. Like, but no one gives this reaction. Like, maybe if they had done that, like, he does that, and then everyone else looks at him like, what a freak. But it's like, no, she apparently likes him after he acts like a total creeper and borderline rapey with her.
It gets so rapey. Like, it gets to the...
It's like, I know you don't like me, but let me grab your boobs because I need to work my powers.
Yeah, it's like he's coercing her into letting him feel her boobs because of the Chosen One powers, and she seems really uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's not good.
well, who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
To the point where they had to make sure that she gave permission at the end when they have sex. Otherwise, yeah, it totally seems like she's just doing it because she has to.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
And there's something really bad with your premise if that's what you're doing.
I do burn for you.
And I don't even believe the way she says it. Oh yeah, I burn for you too.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I believe that. And then they do it through their clothes, and then which makes him thrust lens flare the ropes off of them. Like, okay, that's good. Stupid.
She doesn't have any comic timing either. And I realize
No.
she's supposed to be kind of the Robin Chu character who's more the straight man, but there was
Yeah, but
funny physical bits to it.
He had
and
some
it
really
completely falls
funny
flat
bits.
with her.
Like that ending where he's in the wheelchair. Like
Yeah.
I wish that was the ending that the stupid little douchey kid got. That should have been the ending where it's just like Hasselhoff's like, goodbye everyone. I blew up, but I'm leaving on a bus now. And then he's like, I'm gonna dance in my wheelchair. Oh no! Off the cliff.
At least this one did kill its villains. Because in Beverly Hills Ninja, the guy gets out of the truck after it blows up, so he lived.
Yeah, that was
But
a
this
real
one-
plus. I really cared.
This one, they killed them. They just blew them the fuck up.
Maybe Hasselhoff died. I don't know. We know.
Maybe he fell off the helicopter and he was okay.
For all we know, he fell somewhere.
Maybe he pulled like a Darkman 2 and he totally survived this like explosion. He was
Yeah.
fine.
We know Bree Turner apparently died though, because she goes, "Oh, this is gonna suck" or something.
She had like a full minute to get out of there, and she's like, I guess I'm resigned to death.
I'm done. Like half of this movie, I had a crappy wig on, so who cares at this point?
I also really laughed. It was stupid, but with David Hasselhoff, when he finds out this is the dancing ninja, and it's been haunting him, because when he was a child, he went to a fortune teller who told him his downfall would be the dancing ninja, and they have him playing his mother in drag.
The worst part is, she left her a tip.
The worst thing is my mother gave her a tip. that was the worst thing. I love little dumb humor like that. It was one of the few times this movie had anything like that.
Well, he was in a different movie. He was a lot funnier. Like him as like this over-the-top washed up action star who takes over a fighting channel to blow everyone up for I don't know what reason, why he changes his mind to just blow them up instead of using his wheel that he killed the sensei for, which is why that's such a bad idea to have that as your main plot and then drop it. Because that's the whole reason he killed him, and that the dancing ninja comes after him, and it comes to nothing.
I thought he just wanted to be famous again, so I didn't know why his plan wasn't just to have this fighting tournament and
why would he blow him up? He got what he wanted.
Yeah, he was fine. Well, why do any of this? Just host your fighting tournament.
He kidnaps the guy who used to run the channel that he took over from, who happens to be the main character's biological father, who he just finds out about. And then by the end of it, they don't rescue the dad. In fact, you would know nothing about his fate except for the dancing credits.
Yeah, but
apparently they left him there.
Yeah, that doesn't really even count because that's just all them out of character dancing. So,
so
they just left him tied to a chair with bombs under it to die.
Because they had no ending. It's clear they didn't film an ending.
Mm-hmm.
They blow up and then smash cut to them in the room having sex and then animation and credits.
Yeah. Yeah, and
they surfed away.
And little Wiener, somehow learned the Force somewhere along. Apparently his boner gave him the full Force or something. So he stuck on, a lightsaber condom. And then it made, all the bombs, come to him. That's how they resolve the bombs in the fighting tournament thing. It's just, he goes, and then they magically fly to him.
Well, they do establish the Force exists in this universe.
I know they've established it, but it's such just a nothing, you put this plot element in there and then you're just like, oh yeah, here's the resolution, it magics away. It'd just be like if they just Oh yeah, at the end of Star Wars, Luke knows some of the Force now, so he's just like, well, instead of us going to fight the Death Star at all, just kind of force it into the sun. Okay, that was easy. Guess it's over.
And then Hasselhoff just runs away. They don't even really have a good fight scene with those two. I think he threw the girl onto the pavement and then ran away.
I like at one point too, Hasselhoff's gonna dress like Chun-Li when he's beating up those cardboard cutouts.
Because he's mad about that news reporter lady in front of the bad kind of liney effect. Like, oh, they said I'm washed up. I wish he was in this movie more because honestly, like, he was the only thing I cared about. The rest of it's kind of...
Washed up? Did she say I was washed up?
She's a dick.
Some of these scenes do not fit with each other at all. Like when he crashes the party and then he goes after LaDouche at this party after being a wiener and throws chopsticks, which go super slow motion, save the runtime, and then just Bree Turner catches them and then they leave. And then next scene, she's got her real hair again, and she's holding her side like she was in the middle of a big battle. Like, oh man,
he had some good dance moves.
Yeah, like, what? Nothing happened.
What happened there? You were doing way good, and then all of a sudden she's beat up.
Yeah, so
more
funny.
like the dancing nerd.
Dancing ninja. More like dancing nerd.
It hurt because she had to grow her real hair back.
Yeah, apparently.
Really quick.
Doesn't even match the same shade of blonde. During the music video, it changes. She goes in with her real hair and comes out with a wig.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just the same vehicle. You see her get in and then get out with the wig.
I wouldn't call this a good movie, for sure. Would you consider it a so bad it's good movie?
That's a rough call. I don't know about that. Because I can't stand the main character mostly. Like, if it was just kind of like the Hasselhoff levels, then I'd say yeah for sure. Like if you want to fast forward the main character and just watch Hasselhoff's bits, those are pretty funny. But
like the movie itself, it's uneven calling it a so bad it's good thing because yeah, the Hasselhoff stuff is hilarious.
Yeah.
But you gotta kind of work for it.
Yeah, if you watch the whole thing, you guys sit through dumb sequences like, oh, my father just got kidnapped. Let's go to DDR Girls Club and watch her perform. That's the only thing he does. Yeah. And then he just goes back home and is like, well, that didn't find my dad. Like, what?
LA is really big.
You didn't look for him. I tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas.
Especially compared to the original one. The original one is so funny. And then you watch this and it's really pathetic in comparison. The history of it is really interesting. So I at least recommend, if you can, like look up Beverly Hills Ninja 2 and kind of read about what happened with it, because that's interesting. But the movie itself, I don't know. If you like what you see of Hasselhoff in these clips, maybe. I think this is the only Hasselhoff movie that I've done on movie night so far. Just surprising that we've gone through 50
His
songs.
greatest film first.
His greatest film. Well, he was good in it.
Yeah, at least he did cover something that he saved slightly.
Yeah. Well, that was Beverly Hills Ninja 2, everyone.
My save!
Make your own call.
the same old song all night long. Enough with the hoes, gotta rumble, I'm a ding dong.